Hey, good morning. Welcome to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and friends. But today I'm isolated. I have no friends today in the land of COVID. It's just me, myself, and I talking to you about whatever comes to mind. I do have a couple ideas though. The first thing I want to talk about is what is going on in society right now. What is really happening? You know, have you ever heard the term like breathing through a wet blanket? Where you feel stuck, but you don't know why you feel stuck. So I don't know, a couple years in a world pandemic maybe added to it for sure, right? This lack of certainty, this lack of our ability to see the future and predict with clarity where we're going to be tomorrow, next month, next year. The financial pressures of the unknown. How many people were given furloughs without their permission, meaning their bosses did not ask them permission to fire them. They just said, you're fired because we can't stay open, can't open our doors because of the COVID. But if you really think about it, it's been going on before that. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, LinkedIn, and that's coming from a 52-year-old. I can imagine a 12-year-old would probably tell you 27 more things that I don't even know about that are probably scare the hell out of you as a parent right now. So I was thinking about why is stress manifesting itself so aggressively and so unpredictably so often? In other words, I've been in real estate 32 years or so. I have about 75 real estate brokers doing a lot of business. But I'm seeing things happen. I'm seeing people fragment at a level, buyers, sellers, clients, but it's just really everywhere. And it's funny because the more I pay attention to it, the more I see it, the more I find it. It wasn't that long ago, Facebook and Instagram went down for 7 hours. I wonder if the world had a stress meter, like a gasoline tank, empty to full, if the stress went down in the world in that 7 hours, if we really knew, like people, I know me personally, I looked at my phone like 275 times during that 7 hours, thinking to myself, I am a full-blown addict. I am a full-blown, 100% need treatment social media addict. Now, I can rationalize and say that I'm on social media for my business. And I can also say with certainty that I do not allow negativity on my personal sites. I will delete you. I don't care who you are. If you're negative or if you're being mean-spirited, you will be deleted from my account. And frankly, it's surprising how many people I've had to block and delete. And these are friends of mine sometimes. But I don't believe personally the platform is, I personally can't allow the platform to be negative. Now, I'm just one person with one ideology about that. And I use it for business. I think it's an amazing tool. I think it allows people to connect with people that they long lost friendships. High school sweethearts. I don't know if that's always a good thing, but it happens. Relationship, connecting, it's a very powerful tool. But I think this is a funny time in history where we have a cancel culture, meaning all of a sudden somebody that's thinking differently than you is in control of a platform that can just say, I disagree, so you're canceled. And that creates a narrative. It's a business, right? So on one hand, I'm a capitalist. On one hand, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an American citizen. I believe in the free market. So on one hand, it's kind of difficult for me to say, well, I'm not using it. I can't condemn Facebook. I'm using it. Or condemn YouTube. I'm using it. On the other hand, they got a lot of power. And it can be used, like a lot of things, for evil, not good. So I was thinking about like white noise, that term white noise, or, when you're somewhere and there's just a lot of background noise and you can't really think. It's like the TV's on loud, the radio's on loud, there's music playing in your kid's room, there's arguments happening over here on TV, and you just kind of feel like you're being surrounded by negativity. I sometimes feel that right now. And I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be weird if you could actually see people mentally drowning? But it's invisible, isn't it? It's an invisible component of our lives where we wake up, we get chasing that whatever it is, like a hamster on a wheel running really fast and ending up maybe right back where we started. Feels like we did a lot, but did we? Are we happy? Right? So I'm kind of on a soapbox today. Feels pretty good. Kind of soapboxing it. And I'm just wondering, if you could channel positivity like we seem to naturally fall into a compression of negativity, what would it be like? The world's full of critics. Maybe be an encourager. Maybe have an open mind. Maybe remember a time before the internet when there were news people, investigative reporters that reported facts without an agenda. And we could have discussions from a blue to a red, from the left to a right, from the up to a down, about anything and not hate each other when we were done having that debate. I mean, people have been sitting around playing poker, smoking cigars and drinking beer and talking shop and sports and everything for 1,000 years, I think, without hating each other. But now we seem to be identified by what we are. If I'm a Republican, I'm a racist, right? Automatically. If I'm a liberal, I'm woke. Who would have thought that term was going to be a term? So my question is, if we could be positive for a while, and if you wanted to wake up in the morning and think about gratitude, instead of thinking about problems as challenges, think about problems as gifts. There was a guy, Norman Vincent, 92-year-old, that was talking to this other guy named Tony Robbins when he was 32, 60-year difference. And he said, the only people without problems are in cemeteries. And that is one of the things, he said this in 1932, the first time. He said in the conversation with one Tony Robbins, problems are a sign of life. Because the only people without them are 6 feet under. But if you don't know what you don't know, which is true for all of us, and we care more about what other people think of us than we care about ourselves, and we compare ourselves to people, their best self on social media, instead of comparing ourselves to who we were yesterday and trying to be a better person tomorrow, eventually it's going to get pretty damn depressing. But the good news is, I think if we start to think about, as a collective, that positivity, challenges, hardship, adversity, these are all things that are foundational to improvement, to pride, to winning, to achieving, to confidence, self-esteem. Maybe focusing on the power of positivity and gratitude in a planned, step-by-step, day-by-day, inch-by-inch scenario is the right thing to do. Get rid of the white noise for a while. Maybe that 7 hours social media was down was a gift to remind us we live in a beautiful place. We have beautiful friendships. We have beautiful relationships. Beautiful does not mean easy. How many people that are married says it's easy? How many people that stay married say it's easy? Quitting is easy. Quitting, running away, and being arrogant, being a jerk, that's easy. Fighting for something is hard, but fighting for something is life. It's just a game. And I'm seeing so many people really beating themselves up to a point where it's time to stop. It's time to remember. Take a deep breath. Figure out every day with a routine what you're thankful for. Start there. It's a little unusual for me to be on this level of soapbox, so I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you hanging in. I'm looking forward to talking about some other things, maybe not quite as dramatic as this segment and the next two segments. So when we come back, I'm going to dive into for sale by owners. I love you.